just had that, I just seen it stuff going on, and going to one, hacking down there and, water truck and been closed all afternoon.
Another one today, I know it.
Yeah, they just had it on the record when I was coming off the mountain, coming up to the.
Where do you want to be?
What's that?
Said, where do you want to be?
I still can't hear you.
Where do you want to be?
I'll sit here. I'll be quick.
Yeah, with that truck, back up, moved on.
Lisa, obviously,
Yes.
was this week? Was last year? Okay. She should do this year.
Did you see the picture in the paper that thing we're gonna put down Dover on the road? It showed the diagram, the planning commission had a picture of it on the front page of the Climate paper a couple weeks ago.
The next year plant, get rid of.
The wastewater thing, that Avis.
That's what Palmer wanted to do, Chris. He wanted to do that.
So who bought it?
I don't know, well, it's just these people right here.
RES Avis LLC or something.
Yeah,
They were supposed to come to the meeting.
I saw that deed, I don't know what it was.
When it rained.
You know, and they're gonna take all the gas company water and stuff.
probably gonna tear that barn down, I would think. Would be right away.
Did they sell everything though? Hey,
All right,
hey,
how are you?
Hi, Bob.
haven't seen you in a while, have
Yeah,
you?
how you been?
Good.
Good. No, it's okay. I apologize for not having a tie on, but it would look ridiculous with this polo shirt.
Yeah, we don't care if you have a tie on or
I
not.
Bill
just throw it on whatever. With the air.
I have just a quick question. That way I can ask my question, you guys can go over it, and I can head on down the road if that's all right.
Yeah.
So I understand that the township doesn't have a responsibility to clean up the sluice pipes for our driveway ends. But if it would be possible, someone come up and take a look at it. You know where I live up on McLean Road, right through my marks, it's piling up, which is piling up to me, and his is, I think it's 2 feet down. It's a pretty good hole,
Well,
so.
It's the way that, where the pipe is, to be able to get in and out, that's why that pipe. I seen it, and I know I gotta get up there because the last storm plugged it up more. I've already seen it, I'm gonna get up there and get it
I
done.
appreciate it. That's all I wanted, was just to say, see if someone can come up and take a look at it.
I was
I
already
tried to
planning-
shovel mine own out, but I'm not going down 2 feet.
Well, it's all blacktop, it shouldn't be that hard.
Just don't shovel in your yard, you'll end up back in the ditch.
Well, that's the other thing, I gotta find a place to dump all of it, so. That was my thing.
Like I say, that's why I blacktopped that all the way down through there, so all you had to do was when it starts filling, just knock it around a little, let it flow on through, but everybody lets leaves and stuff hit, tree sticks, plugs them off. I have it quite a few other places, it's like, just need to learn to take care of your driveway pipe. You own it, you bought it,
It's not his.
huh?
It's not his that's plugged, it's the one below him.
Yeah, it's Mark's, I know, down there at Mark's, but it isn't hurting his. It's not up there, it's just right down there at the bottom, running across Mark's driveway.
Yeah, but then it
and that's
backs
all
up to
he
me,
was-
so.
Well, I'll get, like I said, I already had
That's
plans.
it, I just wanted to see if someone could take a look at it.
Yeah,
It's
it'll
not
be
an
done,
emergency, it's not like someone's gonna get killed over it,
No.
it's just. if
it'll be
someone has
done
to-
tomorrow.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, 'cause
And I'll
I've
be out of your
already,
guys' hair.
I've already seen it, we've
I'll
been
take
just
that
busy.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. I heard a truck, or I heard a car door.
Somebody pulled in.
I don't have another.
But we did, busy.
Started writing on the one that I had to make copies on.
Yeah, it ain't nothing, it just needs to be just centered and dirt.
You wanna use mine so you don't have to take street
It's
off?
backed up probably
Nope.
that far, it's running over Mark's yard. I can't keep up with people's driveways and roads. I didn't buy the bike, didn't want to, I didn't have to live there, so. But, like I said, I know, I can see he's not gonna do wrong, so it'll be questioned. You know where the promote is up there now. It's a creek between Powell and the Quinn. That place was packed yesterday. The guy had all these posted signs because kids are going in there drinking beer, smashing bottles and
No, I gotta say, I'm
Oh, okay.
gonna put it back together.
I didn't know if your daughter and them went down there and.
Well, I don't know where they went, they just told his sister, husband came, picked him up, took him up there fishing today.
Didn't even see them unless they were the ones that were on the dock.
Me come to order, shoot flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second,
Okay, we're gonna have executive session, so we have to, everybody has to leave except for Arnie. Okay, next thing, again, is Walter, you have something?
Will you guys be accepting the envelopes from me? For notification?
No, we're, paper only, newspaper.
Yeah, I
And
know,
you read the law, right?
sure.
What am I reading wrong about the law?
The word interested party has a different meaning in the law than it does generally with the general public,
Okay.
okay? An interested party to a lawsuit would be the plaintiff and the defendant. An interested person here would be somebody who has like an application to keep and maintain a junkyard. He's applied for a license. He should know he's entitled to personal notice of when his license application is going to be considered. Somebody who's applying for a construction permit, somebody who's applying for
So
a subdivision.
anybody that's coming up there in a meeting,
Yeah, somebody who has a proprietary or pecuniary interest in the outcome of what's going to happen here.
okay.
Other than
That's
that,
very specific.
right. That's an interesting
So
point.
like, if they had accepted my envelopes previously, they would have to send one out for this meeting because I was being brought up, correct?
You're being brought up?
I was on the agenda.
Because you were on the agenda.
I was on the agenda for this meeting.
Do you have anything that's going to happen to you here? Maybe adverse to your pecuniary or proprietary
So
interest?
it's only adverse. I'll look into that, but it sounds like you're saying if it could only go badly for me if I'm not here, that's the only time I should get notification.
I brought my Black's Law Dictionary with me. It doesn't define interested party, but it defines interest. Okay, do you want to read it? You're welcome to.
I'm gonna look up on the general index of terms
Okay,
when I get home.
all right,
For the Pennsylvania,
all right.
I'll look it up then. It's
Okay.
wasting the time now. But I was on the agenda for today. Correct?
Yes.
Yes, because you
Yeah.
want to read your letter.
I didn't, no, wanted it handed to them, but either way. So if I had given an envelope to her, she would have had to mail me to let me know that,
Well, if you didn't show up to discuss this issue, would you lose any money or property?
no.
No. You could show up the next meeting.
Okay, so if there is no adverse effect on me, then I'm not entitled to know that I'm being discussed, correct?
Right, you get
Okay, that's what I'm
no
trying to
further
figure out.
interest than any other citizen in the township.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out, is that if there's no adverse effect on me, I don't have a right to know that I'm being discussed.
Right,
Okay, that's what I'm,
but every citizen is permitted to be here.
correct. But you might want
It's
to
an
know
open
that
meeting.
you're being discussed so that you can weigh your options. But it doesn't, that part doesn't matter. I will look this up and see where to go from there.
Okay.
Quite honestly, this has been ridiculous though. All I asked for in the beginning with this was to just be notified if there's a special meeting. And I was told no. And
We're
It's in the
required to
newspaper.
advertise.
what's that?
It's in the newspaper.
If the legislation,
notice.
if the legislation thought that was enough, they wouldn't have amended it for internet websites as well.
Well,
And that amendment was, I'm guessing, under the assumption that almost every single township and borough would have a website. So the,
well, they don't
they-
have one. They're not required to.
and I understand why they don't have one. You probably don't want it notification out for people to know that things are happening.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion on
Right.
that. But really, if you were a bidder from a company in Scranton or Wilkes-Barre, you wouldn't get the Canton Independent Sentinel. And so if you're a bidder, you would want to be notified specifically when this meeting was being held to consider the bids, right?
Right.
Right, so an interested party like that, if they want and they give the envelope, they can get personal notice, okay?
Okay. Can envelopes be given ahead of time that if there is adverse effect or anything that the township would notify, or does the person have to know that there's going to be an adverse effect conversation being done at a meeting before they can give the envelope to the township? You understand what I'm saying?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so I would have to know that there would be a potential adverse effect against me.
You have an application pending, or you submitted a bid.
What if there's a conversation coming up about possibly a permit issue, or it, and I wasn't notified about that, or ordinance violation? So if they want to talk about an ordinance violation I was committing, would they have to notify me first? Or could they bring it up?
Well, they would talk about it here in the open public.
Right, but I
And
would have
then
to.
they would notify you that there's an issue,
I
if there
would-
is one.
If, I would have to know about that before I handed the envelope to them to notify me that it's gonna have the conversation, right? Because I can't hand them an envelope ahead of time before I know there's an adverse conversation coming up, correct?
Well, you're not a party in interest at that point. You're not. They're about to discuss something that may be wrong with your property.
I wouldn't be a party of interest when they were discussing my property.
If somebody comes in here, we've got complaints about chickens and what else? What was it, chickens and something else going
Trash.
around digging up people's yards?
Rabbits.
Garbage.
Rabbits, trash.
Rabbits, yeah. It has to come to the supervisor's attention first. Then they would be.
I'm
in
saying
touch.
if it was on the agenda.
Yeah, if you were the person with the chickens and the rabbits, they'd be in touch with you saying, hey, your chickens and rabbits are causing a problem.
If that was on the agenda, would they have to notify me beforehand? It doesn't really matter, it doesn't,
Well, I'm sure they
I was
would.
just, okay.
Okay?
But if I don't hand them the envelope, then,
They would.
I don't think they would if they didn't have to.
You know,
I believe they're bitter that I came in here,
no.
yes.
No, you know,
Um,
what if 2,000 people in this community wanted personal notice? I can tell you that I arrange my high school class reunions. I always have, and I'm glad that I can do it because I have a secretarial staff who prepares all the notices. Then my wife and I get together and start stuffing envelopes at home, and putting stamps on them. And it takes a lot of time. If the secretary had to notify 2,000 people in this community individually, well, that would be a real problem.
I'm just one person, but this all started because I asked to be notified through email, the 5 seconds that it would take to do so when she made the listing in the paper for a special meeting.
And again, what if it was 2,000 people
Then it
that asked for it?
It would probably be about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. No, it'd actually be less than that. You create a mailing list and you send them all out, so it's 5 minutes to begin with, and then it's back to the
Well,
20
Mr.
seconds.
Caldwell, can I ask something?
Yeah.
So if this is what he wants, he doesn't want to pay for a paper, we could put Walter Woods, we raise taxes.
Walter Wood, what?
We raise taxes
We raise
to
taxes.
pay for if he wants certified.
Well,
That would be quite an interesting take on how to do things.
Well,
That would be very interesting take.
yeah.
I understand.
well, that's
It may backfire a tiny bit if you decide
that's
to
a
take
question
that.
from a member of the public, okay? Not
No,
from the
that's-
supervisor.
No, that's,
He's a member of the public. He is not,
he's here in his capacity as an employee of the township.
He's not an elected
He's not an elected official, I realize that. He is a member of the township staff, and he is here in that capacity.
to report on the roads, yes.
But he's not here in a,
Not to make any decisions.
No.
no, but something was said.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are you really that opposed to buying a newspaper?
I'm opposed to having them go through the notices. I do get a newspaper, but I'm opposed to having to make sure that I catch the notice out of the two. It could be in one of either two newspapers. One is a daily, one's a weekly. I have to make sure I get the correct day and the correct newspaper in the notice section to make sure that I'm here.
You always advertise the meetings in the,
In the Independent Sentinel,
that's where they always are.
not always. Time frame wise, sometimes they are in the Daily Review.
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
been
yeah, that's
established
right,
before.
3
It could
days,
be-
no, yeah,
It could be
Right.
in either newspaper.
yeah.
But
Well, they're both available at the library.
But this is why the legislation changed the law to make sure that it was notified through webpage as well, but township doesn't want a hot one. It's been brought up to me a couple of times, including through the court process or state processes, that I'm upset about a couple of lilacs being trimmed, I believe it was said.
Yeah,
That's not the issue.
okay.
That could have been handled in 30 seconds on the day that it happened. We'll come up, we'll take a look at it, see if anything needs to be done. It was simple. Her response to me was, if it's in the right of way, we can do whatever we want. Don't ever contact me through here again. Because I contacted her through her Facebook, which I had done multiple times previously. over multiple years.
twice for a permit issue and about a dead deer. You were trying to go beyond, and I put a boundary of please contact the township, and I gave you
One
the
second on that.
information.
You're-
And I gave you the boundary of not to contact me through my Facebook Messenger. You have other avenues.
Correct. And I have not contacted you through your Facebook since then. You should have established that boundary on the very first message township relayed it, instead of the message that was a negative communications. The other two weren't negative communications with the township, the third one was, and then you established the boundary. It's not too big of a deal, but you have to be careful with that because you can't communicate with anybody through your Facebook about township business if you're going to limit any single person.
I don't.
But
That's why I put the message
And-
as
and-
it's there.
that's fine, but you were extremely rude when you did it. You were extremely rude with the, we can do whatever we want. And it peeved me off, especially after I found out that wasn't true. The comment, we can do whatever we want, is not true.
Whatever we want with regard to trimming brush that is hanging into the township's right of way.
brush, not shrubs.
Shrub,
There's a difference.
brush,
Nope, there's a
trees.
difference. They are, and trees are a separate thing. You can't do whatever you want.
But now, wait a
It's very clear in the law.
Wait a minute, Mr. Caldwell.
We have to be able to make sure that people traveling on the road are able to see,
Correct.
so that children don't get run over,
Correct.
dogs don't get run
Correct.
over.
The notion that you can do whatever you want is false. It's laid out very clearly in the law.
Okay, I want to say something. You're a smart guy. You read
I
all,
try.
you know all the laws
No,
and you get all the papers. Well, you claim you know them all.
no, I do not claim I know them all.
You get all
Please
the
don't-
papers.
Don't say that.
Listen, you get all the papers, you read all the laws, you should be able to read an advertised meeting. If there's a special meeting, it'll be in the paper. If anything we do, when we make a decision, it's always in the paper. So, are we done?
If you guys want to keep pushing, that's fine.
We're
And I
not
will
pushing,
keep-
you're the one that
No.
keeps coming back.
No. I ask for information, I get denied the information, I have to go to the state.
But it's public
Hold on.
information by the time you're asking for it.
I mean, the filing with the state was ridiculous. Your advice to the township was ridiculous.
Excuse me?
That's in the
I've
public
been advising
domain.
this township for 46 years.
And it was ridiculous advice.
Okay.
That's in the public domain, was ridiculous advice. You could have gotten them into trouble.
The information, once it's advertised, is in the public domain.
All information from here should be in the public domain. If it's put on the webpage, it's in the public domain. That doesn't mean she has a right to deny a request, and she can't deny it however she chooses. There's statutes about how the denial has to happen.
Well, you took this
Your guys'
issue,
fine.
Mr. Wood, you took this issue to the hearing officer at, what's the department?
Open Records
Regulates this?
Records office.
All right. And you lost the issue, right?
No, I did not.
Well, the decision I read said you did.
No, it didn't.
Okay.
It said moot, because she responded to the request. It made the request moot when she responded. The other two I filed, she responded as well, and I withdrew it. None of my requests with the state I lost.
It's the final determination for the Pennsylvania Office of Open Records. It is dated August 14. And you can appeal this if you want,
There's no
but you
need-
lost.
No, I did not. It does not say that. I mean, show them where it says that I lost in there. And there's no reason to appeal, the information was given to me. That's why it was registered as moot.
So for your right to know request that you put in for until the 31st.
Yes.
Okay, so if I tell you that there is a newspaper notice for personnel and I do not have all the documentation because I haven't received it from the newspaper, but we put in an ad for a road position,
Okay.
is that going to satisfy you?
When you get the documentation back about the ad, I would like to have it, so I can post it.
Then I'm going to have to ask for extension because I do not have it yet.
That's perfectly fine. Yep. That's more than perfectly fine.
But it
And when I get it, I will be posting it on my Facebook publicly. Just like these videos go public on YouTube, I put as much information as I can public.
But I put it in the paper before you did the request, so my answer should have been, it's public domain because it was already in the newspaper before you made the request.
No, you're going to get in trouble with that. That is not a proper response to an open records request. And just because the newspaper has it, doesn't mean that it's not part of your records and that you have to provide it. That's very clear with the law, because I've taken the webinars. In fact, I asked some of these questions during the webinar. We got some pretty clear answers. That response is not a legal response in Pennsylvania. It honestly doesn't make any sense. That's why they kept trying to get you to clarify. Well, they only had to try once, I guess, because you had answered the thing, so they stopped. But they tried getting you to clarify what you meant, because even they were confused.
Let's just move on.
Okay, we're gonna move on now.
Dean?
Dean, anything?
Oh, no.
He's just here.
No, I'm
Come
just
for the
listening.
fun? Great.
Yep.
Bob, what you got before anything?
Well, Darren's supposed to be bringing us down papers tomorrow, for this, because I let him put stone out here and we loaded them and everything. He says we're gonna be pretty happy with it.
Darren.
Invesco.
Oh, okay.
And, which, we had already agreed on everything before they even let him do it. I said, yeah, we had the room. But then we turned around and decided to get some gravel, and I told him, I said, we gotta do something. I said, we started stacking the gravel up back, and I told him, I said, when are you planning? That we need to get material moved here. So he got right on the crest, and they come down and they stone and chip. We got what was left from tar and chipping, but he's gonna bring us a paper tomorrow. You'll get one, I get one. Can't remember who else. The one for the, I don't know, but he's gonna bring us paperwork with the money that they're gonna, so if we want oil, tar and chipping, anything like that, this here, we can use this here to take off the bill. And he says I'm gonna be well satisfied for it, but like he said, do you have it? I have everything written down for the overtime and for the one I had put overtime in, Kelton. I said, we're not paying that. Nope, you don't have to. So that's all gonna be figured in and everything. So we'll see when I talk to him. If I don't think it's right, I'm gonna tell him better come up with a different plan, you know. And he knows how I am, and like he said, yeah, but he goes, I think you're gonna well like that. So I don't know, you guys wanna try doing something with it, you know. I'll let you know, I mean, he's gonna have them. He's gonna have, you know, paperwork where he's gonna give us for doing that.
Well, we don't use it this year, do we?
Nope, we can use it anytime that you want, but he's gonna give it to us. He said, don't lose it, because this right here, and if he quit, we would still have proof, which everybody up there, already knows that we're getting this paperwork. The one day the boss was with it, Neil.
Okay.
Neil's boy, actually, but he's running, Neil's kind of retired.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, like this week, I have Kim lined up to help me move things, but I'm not gonna be able to get on any blacktop this week. Not being this hot, I'm not gonna rip them up, because I got some ditches I can do here and there that need to be done. There's some trimming that needs to be done, and,
Okay.
and working around here in the shop. I mean, I have plenty to do here. Like I said, it's so hot in that shop that you would sweat about as much as we just went and sat under in an oven. But other than that, I mean, I can keep going, you know, for a while, but, you know, but I just started chemo over again, as you can see, and it's a little bit more effective, because I took a month off. I just get tired of it, so. And I'm gonna try to do, but I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna be sick here or there, you know. But, and I
Still get it Fridays? Still get it Friday?
Yeah, they just tried turning me to Tuesday, and I said, well, I guess I'll find another hot, well, they work right around, they got that straightened out. So I will not do it on another week other than a Friday. Been doing it 2009, and they don't like it, I guess they don't need to help me, you know.
Is that what you got?
Yeah.
Old business?
Got everything taken care of.
Business correspondence?
odor services, and then, a groundwater permit for, the RES water. That's it. And then, Larson Design Group is doing a erosion and sediment coal permit for pickup head.
Chicken issue, did that lady say anything for, what are we doing about that? Is that anything we need to look into or talk to him about?
Attorney Caldwell?
Yes.
What is your recommendation about neighbors with chickens and rabbits?
Well, you don't have an ordinance about it. Sounds like it just might be a private problem.
Well, I suggest go talk to the people. Say, listen, the neighbors are complaining, the chickens are sitting all over your sidewalk. You know, could be,
I think they've asked, and nothing's been done about it.
Well, it depends, there's a leash law too now.
yeah, but not for chickens.
They're considered.
The way I took it
domestic
when they
animal.
talked to me, it didn't matter what animal it
I'll
was.
go up and talk to her, because I know her. And I talked to Tom. I don't know if he's done anything, but I'm gonna say something to him again too.
Okay. Well, that's the first time I think anybody's been really up there to inspect in a while, so.
Where's that at?
There's something else. I don't know. Guess that's it.
Just look
Another
on.
thing too, we ought to look into is a lot of these, all these places that are junk holes around. Maybe we ought to start getting a little stricter on that, finding these
Okay.
people if they don't clean up.
You're right, letter that Preston down there in Springbrook.
I'm sorry, Gary, what's that?
Preston
Cindy Preston,
and
by
Springbrook.
Apes, down in Springbrook. We've sent, what, 1 or 2 letters, didn't we?
One, I think.
I've written to her,
I think so, yeah.
and the complaint is,
Junk.
oh, junk. Okay, well, you want to take it a step further, beyond the letter?
It's been a while since we sent her a
There's a
letter.
lot since the center one.
Her husband died, and once her husband died, boy, went to hell in a hurry down there. I say let's send her another letter.
Cindy
Preston.
Preston.
Be Springbrook Drive.
We don't know the number.
Write one more time,
Yeah.
remind her what the penalties are.
Yep.
All right. There was a guy we had to deal with, he was putting things along the creek bank. Do you remember this?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's all taken care of.
that's taken care of finally.
And DEP kicked it over to us, although they had the bigger budget. I wrote him that letter, told him, you know, I'm no expert on environmental laws, but you can't do that. You know, he came back later and thanked me for that.
DEP.
No, the guy that I wrote to.
Well, my question on that whole thing is, well, the township's not in charge of oil spills or fuel spills and
No.
all that stuff, so why should we be in charge of somebody with dog crap and junk
Right.
sitting along the creek?
For violation.
Because the guy came to see me and I said, you're talking to the wrong person.
Violation of the Clean Water Act. Yeah,
I told him to get let DEP deal with it. There's nothing to us.
they had all the expertise, but they told us, you take care of it. Okay,
Well, it's taken care of.
yep, it's taken care of.
I talked to him and he said he cleaned up whatever he had to clean up. And
Yep. And he thanked me for being so reasonable with him.
yep, that's what you like. No,
If nothing else, I think the meeting's adjourned.
Well, I was gonna ask you, we need to put back in, newspapers, people with these driveway pipes, it is their responsibility to keep them cleaned out. Through the heavy flood, we will clean them out. But these little runoffs, they just let them build and build. I do not have the time to run around and, because, well, we already had a discussion with one guy and I said, so you think I ought to come to your house after every little rain, if there's a stick in front of it, which you're driving past that every day, you can't pick that branch out, so when the leaves start coming, and it's coming to where all the leaves are gonna start falling. I don't have the time to run around and try to clean. We try to help the best we can, but if I don't have the time, I don't have the time, you know?
Did you ever talk to Doris and Gene Ruddy? I told Cale, he said he was gonna tell you, they wanted to know what it's gonna cost to put a new driveway pipe in.
Haven't heard nothing about it.
Maybe they forgot about it. That it?
I'm just saying if we could do that, you know what I mean, to remind everybody their driveway pipes are their pipes.
Can anybody tell me whether or not Mrs. Preston has some kind of disability?
Mrs. Preston? No, she works at the manor.
Okay.
I see her at the
I know
manor.
my place would get pretty ratty looking if I died.
Yeah.
My wife can't
No, I
barely
know.
walk.
But yeah, she works at well, she was working at the manor,
Yeah,
but
okay.
I don't know if she still does.
I don't know.
It's the kids that made the mess. It wasn't her.
Ah, that's always the case. It's never the widow, it's their kids.
Somebody was living in that,
They're still living in that camper.
are they?
I don't even know if that's legal.
That's where the sewer goes.
The kid that got hit by the bicycle, he lives in that camper with his mother or dad or somebody.
Rooster?
Yeah, a kid that got hit on the bicycle down.
Oh, the bicycle, oh, okay, the bicycle. All right, I know who you're talking about now.
Okay, I guess.
Yep, meeting's adjourned. Thank you, Arnie.
Yep, thanks.
Yep.
It wouldn't be a Labor Day without meeting with you guys.
Hey, we do it good. There you go.
Yep, see you later.
Need anything or not?
Nope.
So I'm gonna have Kim come in and help me and stuff, because I need somebody to help me move equipment. I
Yeah, that's
can't,
fine.
I'm not walking